How's it going? And welcome to another EMS Festival vlog where we take you behind the scenes with exclusive interviews, backstage footage, so you get the full festival experience whether you're here or not. Today we're headed to the EMS Spring Fest at the Sertoma Youth Ranch. I'm your host Gabriel Acevedo. It's time to hit the road. I had been looking forward to this weekend for over a year, as this was the first festival that had to be canceled due to COVID-19 back in 2020. The EMS Spring Fest is such a testament of what we can accomplish post-COVID in the Florida bluegrass scene. Held at the Sertoma Youth Ranch, this festival is the oldest Florida bluegrass festival of over 43 years. What a beautiful sight, driving down that hill and look over all the campers and the musicians pulling in from all over Florida and many parts of the United States. It was going to be an amazing weekend. Here we are at the Sertoma Youth Ranch. It's time to set up, and you know how it is. It's never a simple thing to set up because I want it perfect. I want it just right, you know. We figured out where we're gonna camp. Look at these amazing trees. You know, I always talk about the trees. So yeah, we're gonna set up here because it's gonna be crazy. This is going to be the epic camp site. I'm telling you, we're gonna step it up with lights, with tapestries, with everything. So it's gonna get real, man. I'm excited. Let's do this thing.
Just like that, I am here. Let's go backstage. Lord have mercy, look at these beautiful buses. I do like some nice buses. What do we got here? Sideline. I'm guessing Alex Leach back there. And this one, I'm not sure what it is. It's a private coach. That is a nice bus. Waggerty's Farm. Is that right? Waggerty's? I don't know if I'm saying that right. Lord have mercy, they're about to play here. Born Lonesome just played. Born Lonesome's out of Florida. I'm not sure where, but they're out of Florida. Whew. My arm's about to fall off. Yeah, back at it here again.
Appreciate it, man. Appreciate it.
Y'all playing a lot of shows, right?
Quite a bit, yeah. Things picked way back up. So.
Yes, they have.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Thanks a lot, man.
No problem. Y'all headed out here in a minute, I'm guessing?
Well, we got a lot of gear to pack up, that kind of stuff. So
yeah.
We'll be around a little while.
Cool. Well, really appreciate you guys. Thanks again for the music.
Thanks for having us, man.
No problem. Y'all have a good night and safe travels.
Appreciate it.
The sideline band is kind of like the big deal because they're only here today, so they're here only Thursday. You guys already heard a little bit of the sideline, and we'll hear a lot more of them tonight. Something I'm noticing a lot about this festival, a lot more small campers, tent campers, and that is super exciting. I don't think, maybe a lot of you bluegrassers don't realize how much tent camping and small campers contribute to a festival, because people tend to be outside instead of inside their camper. So when you have tons of tent campers, there's a lot more campsite community, and literally that's what we want to breed here, man. That campsite community makes the jams, makes people talk, makes the vibe happen. I don't think Eric and Maria are here yet because the field is empty. That field, they're gonna be out here somewhere. They said they would be here in about an hour. Speaking of which, who's pulling up there? I believe
We are pulling up on Eric and Maria, man. We are pulling up on them. Running out of breath. Man, these Florida mountains. Look at that incline. This is too much. All right, that is Eric and Maria for show. Go check it out. Look at that, primitive camping. Tons of people camping back there. This is awesome, dude. We're talking post-COVID festival. It's a big deal when you get a big group of people wanting to have a festival. It means something, and it is happening here. At the Sertoma Youth Ranch.
You didn't get me jumping, did you?
Come on in.
Okay, but I got it.
Oh yeah. What's up?
Hey.
Got the AC on.
Oh yeah. All right. I saw Born Lonesome. Find Born Lonesome. Say hi to him.
You better
Check
go
one,
in
two.
You
there.
want to do some talking there?
Play.
This works. I'm just gonna swivel around.
It's a nice chair. You got this figured out.
Dude, that's a sweet
Yeah.
chair, ain't it? It's probably worth the coin.
All right, Born Lonesome.
Hey,
Chad, what's up?
hey, how are you?
Good.
Good.
All right. I'm just figure this out.
Hold on, I'm going inside the
We're giving you
house.
the surround sound experience of Born.
There we go. Dang, you should play a song. Anyhow, just trying to.
I'll sit over here.
Oh, you know what? I'll just sit here then.
There you go. There you go.
Born Lonesome. You guys have been together for how long?
About 2 years now. We started in 2019 and had a good little run there, and then COVID.
Somewhere
hit.
around March.
Yeah, around March. So yeah, about two years.
Really? It's been that short?
Yeah,
It almost feels like a time warp. Because I remember like seeing your first post. You're posting a lot on YouTube and stuff.
yeah,
And I was like, that just feels like a long time ago.
yeah.
Man, lots happened. Songwriting. Do you guys write your own stuff?
We do. We
Cool.
do. We all write.
Oh, I should do this.
Yeah,
because
that's fine. Each of us write. So
Wow.
we have a new album out that released March 3rd, and there's 10 songs on there. They're all originals written by the group. So check it out.
that's awesome. What is the this Get Your Boots On? What is this about?
Get Your Boots On is Russell's Western Wear is a sponsor of Born Lonesome.
Oh, dang.
Yeah, they've been a advocate of us and our music, and they're a local business and locals trying to help locals, and they've been really good to us.
Yeah, here's some Russell's boots for you right here. Look here. Look at this. Brush all the dust off of them.
You think you'll have that on your big bus one day?
Actually, yeah, they're customizing a boot. It's going to be, like the Oscar Mayer hot dog bus?
Yeah.
It's going to be a boot, and that's going to be our tour bus.
Born Lonesome Boot.
That's right. We're going to be riding around in a boot.
Dude, that's actually, so you guys are actually like doing this thing.
No, not really.
You should.
No.
You should. You should do the giant boot. Big boot with wheels on it.
Probably a good idea. It would be really cool. I mean, it would be have to be a short, like, zipper boot or
Well, we
something.
Yeah.
were going to do Oscar Mayer, but then we would have to drive around in a big car that looked like a hot dog, so we decided on the boot.
Yeah, it's better.
Yeah. Are you guys, what's your like long-term goal? You guys trying to like grow as much as possible or just kind of keep it local?
That's a great question. I'm going to let Royce answer that question.
Our long-term goal is to continue writing new material and having a great time, playing festivals throughout Florida and potentially regional festivals if it works out for us.
Speaking to the festival thing, if you work it right, you can just be playing festivals every weekend.
That's, yeah.
Well, at least pre-COVID you could. You know what I'm
Well,
saying?
It gets back to that. I mean, really, that is our goal. Is to,
Yeah.
I mean, we all have full-time jobs. We've got 2 teachers, and the other guys are in business and that kind of thing. So it's important for us to keep those jobs, but have fun and be able to do this at the same time. I mean, there's nothing greater than that. So.
Yeah.
Our goal is to continue to get better, and there's no written rules saying that you have to play music full time to be decent.
Yeah. I've actually, I don't know if it's like a weird thing with me. Like, I've always had this aspiration to be like that, maybe not like a road musician, but like that's my full-time thing.
Yeah.
Like anytime I think about like, oh, I'll just do it as a hobby, like it's almost like a horrible feeling. Like I just can't do.
Well,
You know what I mean?
Well, me personally, I went through that.
Yeah.
I did that as a young. I mean, you're a young man. I'm a little bit older than you.
Yeah.
I don't know how much older, but I mean, I did want to be that for a long time, and you know, I did do it for a while, and it was a hard life.
Yeah.
And then my grandma always said, "You need to get a real job, sonny," and I listened.
Yeah.
And
It was
the best thing I ever did was get a real job and have something solid and right. And be able to enjoy the music too.
Yeah, I'd say, I mean, I did the full-time like fiddle player thing working in Pigeon Forge, and the best way I could equate it is like doing 378 of the same shows. If there were any of those songs that you loved at the beginning of that 10 months, you hated the best way I can put it is like, man, everybody likes chocolate chip cookie dough ice cream, right? Until that's all you have to eat.
Yeah.
And then you'll start to really not like it so much.
Yep.
Yeah. So it's nice to have the break, I think. You know, it's nice to have the balance of having that steady thing,
Hey,
and then
while you
being
have
able to
the
go
camera
work.
on Jason, I want Jason to give us a little tiny bit of Mr. Lester Flatt impersonation.
I really need the hat for him, but thank you so much. Me and these born lonesome fellers are so happy to be with you here at the Spring Bluegrass Festival.
I'm gonna go down to the stage eventually and do some filming of the bands down there, and then yeah, it's on to the Moonlight Jam. I'm gonna try, like I said, I'm gonna try my very best to vlog as much as possible because it's hard to jam and vlog. Colors are starting to show on the trees because I have all these lights up. I'm really excited. I brought all the lights, and somebody else is supposed to bring lights too, and he hasn't gotten here yet. Come on, man, don't let me pull all the weight. So yeah, good stuff.
I didn't notice. It jumped up, it like lurched, and it popped my...
The longing of my heart, the wish I carry. I look deep into your eyes.
Friday morning here at EMS Springfest. So yes, Friday morning here. I slept really well. I slept too long, almost 10 o'clock. Don't do that, guys. Abby and Savannah making breakfast.
And I am on my way. When I'll be coming home, I wanna see you play the music of your heart. I'm followed by your light.
All right, beautiful morning here. Had breakfast, slept in actually, that wasn't good. Usually about to start here at 1 o'clock. Low Ground's about to play. I'm about to find them somewhere and figure out where they are. Oh my gosh, good morning.
Good morning.
I'm just busting up this jam. Hey man, good jamming.
What's up? Where are we going here? Yeah, I'm having fun, yeah. Bluegrass. Yes, thank you, Bill.
Bill. Okay. Hey man.
Hey, how's it going? Jacob.
Jacob. See you guys later. All right. Gotta find Low Ground somewhere. Look at that bus. I think that Nothing Fancy's bus. What's going on in here? How's it going? Good.
Good. How you doing?
Good. What brings you to the EMS Springfest?
Oh, we love bluegrass. We love all the campers and meeting new friends. Like we're just talking to a new person we just met right here, and we're just having a good time. enjoying being outdoors and listening to great music.
Is this your first EMS Spring Fest?
Is this our first one? Yeah, we were going to come last year, but it got canceled for COVID. But this is our first year here, for this one.
Nice. Yeah, you guys got a pretty good sort of a front row seat here to the show. That's awesome.
Yep. Yeah, we're enjoying it. We got a good spot. We can see the band listen from here, and then of course just a short walk to the pavilion. So
awesome.
Good shape.
Well, y'all have a fun rest of the weekend, and we'll see you guys around.
All right, take care.
Oh my gosh, I found them. Low ground. It's low ground here. Going?
So good. How are you?
Good. What brings you to EMS Spring Fest?
Oh, well, I was here for the Blues Bash last weekend, and I heard there was a festival going on this weekend, so I stuck around for it.
That's awesome. So, what do you think about it? Have you been to a bluegrass festival before?
It was a little bit of bluegrass mix, but yeah, it was the EDM and bluegrass, so they had two different stages.
Was that Halloween?
No, that was Beaver Mountain Music Festival. Yeah, in Idaho.
Nice. What do you think so far?
It's pretty fun. Yeah. More pancakes?
This is more pancakes. Always more pancakes.
Oh, I'm growing a mustache. What the heck? Hey, Saturday morning here. Jeffrey's still in his campsite. What is he still doing in there? What's up? It's time to get up. It's a beautiful day. Represent, man. Guess who's in the house, man?
Good morning.
It's Benny.
Time to play bluegrass music. What time is it?
It's time to practice.
Time to practice.
And Justin Mason just played, and now this band on stage right now, having a good time here at the EMS Spring Fest. Woo! Let's go check these guys out.
Can't you see what that woman's been
Hanging out here with Darren Nicholson at the EMS Spring Fest. And oh my gosh, I want to say that's some fresh stuff. No, it really was. We used to have a drum set when we were playing some stuff. And you know, you get that stuff where like, not supposed to have a drum set with a bluegrass band and whatever. But it's hard to decide drum set or no drum set. So like, what made you decide like this outfit with your band is like what you want?
Well, the people who don't like drums and bluegrass don't know a whole lot about bluegrass, because all the older bands, they had drums. You know, Jimmy Martin, the Osborne Brothers, Rocky Top, probably not only the most popular bluegrass song of all time, but maybe one of the most popular songs in history, had pedal steel, electric guitar, drums. And so Flatt and Scruggs used drums, Jim and Jesse, the Jimmy Martin, the Osborne Brothers, and that's just the sound we like. And so I don't get where people, you know, got away from it, but I always say it's hard to get. How much more acoustic can you get than a drum?
Yeah.
It's about the most acoustic instrument there is. So, we like traditional country music. You know, our band, you know, the thing about bluegrass that I love is that good rhythm and that good energy, and that's what we go for.
Yeah, you can kind of dip into both if you have the drums.
Yeah.
And I like it. It gives it like you got a punch that you don't have without it.
Yeah.
You know. I got to work on my band members. They would probably kill me if I said
a lot of the people don't realize, you know, like the Lonesome River Band, all those great old records, what made that bass pop and what sounded so good on the bass, they didn't have the whole set, but they had a kick drum with the bass, and that's what made that bass really pop. And so, you know, people, a lot of times in bluegrass, if you don't tell people that there's drums on a record, they don't even notice it. But if you do tell them it's there, then they complain about it. So it's like, it's really kind of silly.
Is that, you're saying they did that in production? Like they would have a kick in there?
Yeah, that's what made it pop. That's what gave it that thump. But, you know, I just like that rhythm, and it frees you up to play so much more, especially on the mandolin. You know, that's probably why Sam Bush has drums in his.
Yeah.
Instead of just beating your brains out trying to keep the rhythm going, it frees you up to play a whole lot more. And that's just the sound we like, you know. And if people don't like it, well, they can go watch another band.
Well, obviously they do like it. So I don't think there's any doubt about that. So tell me a little bit, because you were with Balsam Range for a while, right?
I'm still with Balsam Range.
You're still with Balsam Range.
Yeah.
Okay. I saw, like, I was looking through the website, on your website.
Yeah.
Way on the bottom, you're talking about, I can't remember what year it was, an award for Best Old Time / Bluegrass Band. You guys consider it an old time band?
No, but I mean, we're from Western North Carolina, and, you know, Earl Scruggs is from Shelby, North Carolina, and Doc Watson's from Deep Gap. So old time and bluegrass music, it all kind of, and country music to me, like old time bluegrass and traditional country are all kind of the same thing.
Yeah.
I grew up listening to the Grand Ole Opry, and so my dad would listen to Bill Monroe, and Jim and Jesse, but then Merle Haggard and George Jones would come on, and in our family there was no difference. He's like, that's Merle Haggard, that's great music. That's Bill Monroe, that's great music. Yeah. And so there wasn't this segregation of the music. So.
You played with Merle Haggard too, didn't you?
I sure did. I did a tour with him. We did several shows back in 2004, and I love Merle Haggard's music.
That's awesome to be able to play with that guy.
Yeah.
And Zach Brown too. I saw that on there. One of my all-time favorite country bands. Like, I think, yeah, I really do. I like how their music's kind of evolved. You know, they get really poppy sometimes, but they're still like Zach Brown in the end of the day, you know? That's good stuff.
Well, we like music the same approach they do. Some of their records sound bluegrassy. You can tell they like bluegrass, they like country music, they like rock and roll, they like progressive pop, you know? And that's, you know, a really good musician don't just listen to one thing. They listen to a lot of stuff. And we love that band too. I like Zach Brown.
What were you doing with that tour, the Zach Brown tour?
Well, a Southern Ground tour, we played the Southern Ground Festival with Zach. He brought Balsam Range out on his show at Thompson Bowling Arena in Knoxville. And then we did a lot of shows with John Driscoll Hopkins, who's in the Zach Brown band. And we did an album called Daylight, and Zach sang on that album with us, and we did a song called I Will Lay Me Down. And then also, John got us into a movie with Nick Jonas and Paul Sorvino, and just knowing those guys, they can do anything. They can act, they can play music, and it's just been a great relationship. We love those guys. That's
awesome. Well, I'm not going to take too much of your time. Really appreciate you coming out to the EMS Spring Fest, and it's my first time hearing you, so it's exciting to
we hope you like
gain inspiration from people like you. So
we just
appreciate
love
it.
music and want to have fun.
Awesome. Well, good to meet you, and have a good rest of your day.
Thanks, man.
Hey, all right, I'm here hanging out with Tammy Rogers from the Steel Drivers here at the EMS Spring Fest. So glad that you guys came. It's just, I mean, we've been looking forward to this since, what, 2019?
I think so.
Because it got canceled the first time. So, wow. It's just, I think this festival has definitely exceeded everyone's expectations as far as people coming here and just everyone just so glad that the music's kind of coming back and stuff. I'm sure you guys are feeling the same thing, you know?
We are. You know, this is our first show back of 2021.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, it is. So we played just from this time last year to the end of the year. I think we did a total of 6 shows, and I think there were like 3 in September maybe, and then a couple, 3 in November. So
yeah, it's definitely bizarre. Especially for the bigger bands, because you guys are dealing with bigger venues, bigger audiences. You know, we've been, I think here in Florida especially, we were playing in June.
Right.
And then by November, we were like already like mostly all the way, you know? Yeah. We're definitely not there yet, but it feels like came back faster for the smaller bands, and some of the bigger bands aren't even started yet. Like you said, like we just had Rhonda Vincent play her first show too with EMS a couple weeks ago. Yeah. So it's crazy. Anyway, I do want to talk about the new album because I've been listening to it. It's awesome. I think it's the best one so far. Like really.
Yay.
I mean, honestly, I grew up listening to Steel Drivers with Chris Stapleton, and I think this is like, it tops it. I don't know. It's just
high praise.
It's really great. And of course, my wife's favorite is "I Choose You," and I think that's one of my favorites too. Can you tell me a little bit about that song, maybe who wrote it and so forth?
Yeah, no, I actually wrote that with my good friend Tom Utes. They're in Nashville, and you know, it's funny when you write songs, and I have been writing for, gosh, a long time, 40 years or something, I don't know. Sometimes you write a song and you immediately know, this is great, I love this is awesome. And then other times you write a song and go, yeah, that's a good song. And that's kind of how we felt about that. But then when I brought it into the band, it just took on this life. I mean, even beyond what I had imagined it would do.
Did you was it the melody, was it set in stone as well since the beginning of it?
Yeah, no, we had that melody, but it was funny because originally when we wrote it, we were going into like a halftime feel on the verses. And we recorded it one time that way, and it was okay. And finally, by the time, you know, Kelvin got in the band and we went back in the studio and started working on the record, for some reason I just said, you know what, can we not, I think I'd had enough time to live with it, that I just went, you know what, can we just try keeping it straight time all the way through? And the guys were like, yeah, sure. So we did, and suddenly it was like, that's what we need to do. It's not overcomplicated. It's not a complicated thought. It's not really a complicated lyric. And I tell you, I do remember the very first time. We started doing that one live a good while before we ever recorded it, which I think is a great thing to do. Because you really get to see what people respond to. You kind of get to work out the kinks. It's like kicking the tires when you go, you know, test drive a car or something. And the very first night we did that song live, I looked down on the front row, and it was, well, not a front row even, we had a standing crowd, so they were standing right at the stage. And this fellow reached in and reached for his girl's hand.
Wow.
And by the end of the song, they were singing along, and I thought, you know what, I think we've got something here. It was really a special moment to see that happen.
Yeah, it's crazy. I mean, it almost feels like a really good, I don't know, in my life, there's so much going on with post-COVID and music industry and all this stuff, and we've kind of taken this path as a family. It's not the easiest. It's not like the 9-to-5, like straight cut life. And that song kind of gives me that vibe, like we're just sticking together till the end, you know, no matter what. And I don't know, I love it. It's a very emotional song, you know.
It is, you know, and I can definitely say, you know, I've been married now for, it'll be 24 years. this fall. And, you know, kind of going through the different phases of being in a long-term relationship with somebody, you do have to, I mean, you have to do that. You have to choose that person, and you have to choose that relationship over and over again, not just the day you get married or, you know, on anniversaries or happy days. It's all the time. So, yeah, I love it.
Yeah, at the end of the day, or, you know, after everything in life you go through, if that person you're committed to, like, after everyone's gone, then that's who you have left. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah.
And that's what, like, means the most in the end. So it means a lot. So you're the principal writer? Is that correct?
By default these days, yeah. I mean, originally, you know, the first 2 albums, all you Steelheads out there, you probably know, were written by Chris and Mike Henderson. So almost all those songs.
Hence all the songs about whiskey, I'm guessing.
Yeah, and a lot of killing and high body count in those songs. And then, you know, Chris left the band, so Gary Nichols joined, and he was a great songwriter as well. So Gary and I mean, I had been writing all along, but again, you know, Chris and Mike had all these songs. They had a 5 or 6 year songwriting partnership before the band even got together. So it was just a ton of, they had a ton of songs, you know, kind of backlogged. But when Gary got in the band, I started, you know, bringing out some stuff that I'd been writing. And it was really nice because then I had an outlet for that stuff as well. So Hammer Down had 2 or 3 songs that I'd written on it, and then I think Gary had 5 or 6, and then we had a couple that we'd never cut with Mike and Chris, so we included those on that record. And then finally with Muscle Shoals, it was all stuff that either he or I had written. And then of course he left the band, and I was kind of the lone writer standing. But I love to write, and it's something that you know, the guys at first were like, oh gosh, you know, should we be looking for outside songs? And I said, you know, let me just send you what I've got. I don't think we need to. And they were so great because I had, by that point, 50 or 60 songs kind of compiled from writing the last 2 or 3 years. And I just started sending them to them, and they were like, wow, I love this one, I love that one. You know, and so really, I kind of put, which is one thing I love about the band and being in this band, is I kind of put it in their court to actually choose the songs. You know, I sent them probably 30 or 40 songs.
That's awesome.
And I really said, you guys tell me what you like. I know I love them all. I wrote them all, so I love them all.
Yeah.
And obviously, a song like I Choose You, I really heard it, you know, for the band. But I wasn't going to force them to record it if they didn't respond to it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's not the way the band has ever operated. So it was great because then they were really involved with the song on a selection basis and arrangement-wise. You know, when we go to, you know, work up a song, literally I'll pull out my phone and I'll say, okay, here's the work tape, and it'll be just as bare bones as you can imagine. You know, no solos, no nothing usually.
Yeah.
And it's just literally like, well, here's the melody, the verses and the chorus and what have you, and then everybody sits in the room and decides who should do the kickoff or who should do the solo in what order, and what, even should it be a verse solo, should it be a chorus solo. So everybody really is intricately involved in creating
That's awesome.
the song and the recording of the song. So yeah, it's great.
Cool. Are you guys kind of changing subjects here, but you guys how are you guys looking as far as touring this year?
Well, it's looking better. Not a whole lot's happening right now. We've got this show, which is great, and we've got another big outdoor show in Tennessee in April.
At the Caverns?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And
awesome.
Then right now May's really quiet. But then June, July, we've got some outdoor festivals again. And by then, we'll see. You know, August we've got some outdoor things. but things are starting to fill in for some indoor stuff further into September, October,
Yeah.
November. So I don't know that everything, we had a tremendous year booked last year. As you can imagine, having a new record come out
Yeah.
that we'd waited for years. It had been 5 years since our last record came out.
Wow.
So we really had taken our time and booked the tour and had everything lined up. It was going to be our busiest year ever. So I don't know that this year will recapture all of that.
Yeah, it's kind of working up to it again.
But it's better than nothing. So I'm hopeful.
Well, you know, we're all, I guess we're all doing what we can, and we're all here at EMS Festival, so that's good. I won't take too much more of your time. I really appreciate you, and looking forward to your show.
He comes in to drown out the ghost of her goodbye, looking for redemption in his Jackson on line. Now I'm down the bar, but I can't wipe away and he's for another shot of whiskey in his glass. So they call me silver, but when it's all said and done, I don't pull the trigger. I just load the gun. So I look at the pictures and agree she picked you.
Sunday morning here at the EMS Spring Fest. Things are wrapping up. Everyone is unhooking, they're hooking up the that's what we're ready to do too, if I can even talk. And it was an amazing weekend, and we really appreciate it. All you guys coming out here, spending time with us, jamming, listening to music. It's been an amazing, absolutely amazing weekend. We stayed up late last night, and by late I mean like early. But it's time to pack up. I need to help Abby clean up the campsite. Let's time lapse this, guys. You guys are awesome.